Hello everyone. Today we are going to present our project on humanitarian and disaster relief assistance. We are project group 13 and my teammates are Shan, Sagar, and Surya and myself Karthik Segar. This is just to show our the model representation of our application, what it does during the times of disaster. This is just a model. Before we get into our project, we would like to explain the need of our project, why we are doing this project. When we look back at the history, whenever a natural disaster happens, always there is a huge rise in number of people's loss. So, for an example, if we look at the 2012 data, there were 905 natural disasters happened worldwide, and 93% of which were weather related. And the highest related one is the meteorological one, which is nothing but the storms and cyclone. The next is hydrological, which is 36%, is the floods and other related things. And the climatological or the heat waves, cold waves, droughts and wildfires, and geophysical events or the volcano eruption and earthquakes. In all these four related disasters, there is always a huge loss in people's life, mainly because of people have get stuck at a particular location and they are not able to reach a emergency rescue team or the disaster rescue team. So we have developed an application to to help the people who are stuck at a disaster. This is a bar graph which shows the number of people killed in the disasters, irrespective of our technological advances. Even in the recent times, we can see that there is a high number of people's loss. For example, in 2010, there is the people loss of around 300,000 due to a natural disaster. These are some of the data which happened recently. In Jammu Kashmir, there were 280 people died, and in cyclone had caused billions of losses. And in China, there were 77 million people affected. Next, my teammate Sean will be going through our project.
Okay, some people maybe will ask, can we control the occurrence of the natural disasters? The answer is no. But can we mitigate the effects of the disaster? The answer absolutely yes. But right now we will meet some problem. Currently, the problem being faced by people affected by natural disasters is that there is no sick with stakeholders who protect people, and different government machinery and affected people. Sometimes there is a communication gap between different departments. Sometimes the affected people cannot even get access to the communication systems. Uh, this picture is one example of the problem. But we have the ideas to solve this problem. We provide the HDRA, Humanity and Disaster Relief Assistance application. Our application is designed to involve the disaster recovery team and join them with the affected people and provide life fit to them, and this may help mitigate the loss to lives. So let's my teammate Saga introduce the details.
Uh, I would like to tell about the emergency request flow diagram, which is the main flow diagram and how the system works. Whenever the user logins, he logins with his credentials, and once he logins, it will ask for the location. It can also be obtained with the current GPS or his current position. So based on the nature of the incident that he reports, based on that, the emergency dispatch center will act accordingly. If it's a high priority or a medium priority and a low priority, so it'll settle out all the information based on the user given, and it'll act based on the inputs.
So as you can see people, this is the context diagram of our application. So the main crux of this application is the emergency request and its services. But we have added other add-in applications of like functionalities into the application, like which will benefit the user. Like the primary actors here in this case are the users and the rescue team, but we have many systems in place which are internal to the application. But from an external world, these two people, I mean like the users and the rescue team, are the main stakeholders. So we also have the weather update, wherein people can who use application, they can come to know like what is the weather for a given location, and they also can get the warnings issued by the government or some other people. We have a very unique unique functionality here. Like we can a user can also update any warning which he has seen. This is the use case diagram. As we can see, the user can log in with his unique mobile number, which is unique to him, and with that he can also complete the registration process, and he can start using this app. So we have many use cases like the weather information system, wherein a user can get to know the weather information of all the places around him, like the temperature, humidity, wind speed, etc. And also this can also be used by like through the GPS or through by typing in the physical address. The user also has access to the warning system, wherein he can get warnings for any particular location. For that reason we have something called as the warning consolidation database. It is having this has a master data of all the warnings any system has given to it, like the like various sources like users themselves, the government sources, and some other private sources. So here we have one more functionality called as update a warning system, wherein a user consider he is going on to some like trip and all, and he notices that the floodgates of any dam are open and the water level is alarmingly rising. So he can take a snapshot of that and he can post it into this application, and so that it will notify the application the rescue team as well as the other users. And we also have as I mentioned, the main crux of this application is the emergency response section, where we have systems in place for verification whether the location is correct or the person affected are correct or not. And also we have accommodations or food for shelter and such things to take place. We also have this sequence diagram for warning. So where as I mentioned, we have two functionalities where a user can get the warnings for a particular location. So he has to either key in the location through the GPS or type the address manually, and he'll get the response after the warning system will get the query from the warning consolidation database. Also the user can also update any warning, so that any people who wants to go to that place, they can check the warnings and they can be aware and they can take any precautions if necessary. Also we do have and like alerts like warnings arising from the system, because which are not user oriented, but like they're not originated from the user, but from various government agencies. So the next section will be handled by Surya.
And the interface of our mobile application is like this, where you have the two options, whether to get a warning, or you can also update a warning. And if you want to update a warning, it will ask for the priority. So based on the priority, as I already mentioned, it'll the dispatch center will act. And here I would like to explain about the emergency response once you report the incident. Once the user reports the incident, it will directly goes to the emergency dispatch center, and from there it will be redirected to central monitoring agency, where it is the main head of all these departments, where it monitors each and every situation. Once the user input is received by the CMA, it validates the genuinity of the information, and it runs a background information with the information that was given by the user, and it consolidates with all the departments, and it will pass the instructions to the emergency dispatch center, and from there the operation instructions will be passed on to the emergency rescue team. The main motive of the rescue team is to protect the people who are in the situation, uh, and from there the emergency rescue team also has to report into the emergency dispatch center and also the central monitoring agency. In case if emergency rescue team need any additional rescue support or any other support, then the CMA can always be prepared to send out the rescue team to the particular location. And based on the location, based on the information that it got as CMA, it will pass on the information to the food and shelter, and from there the food and shelter main motive is to accommodate all the victims of the act of God or any other calamity, yeah, and it will provide food and shelter to the people. And central monitoring agency also have one more important role, that it will release the information, or it will release the warning alerts to all the departments, and also it will send out an alert message to the users of that particular location or the locality where the incident occurred, so that the people can take the necessary precautions and also can reduce the risk risk that might happen to the humanity. And I'm just giving a portrait of our mobile application, where it has the nature of warning, severity, location, the way the user has to update it to the CMA. The nature of the severity goes either high, medium, or low, and the location, either it can either the user can manually enter the location, or it can directly take from the current location from through the GPS. And comment section, this is a very interesting section, where it is an optional field, where a user can input the people surrounded by him, phone numbers, so that the phone numbers are mapped to the unique identifier. If at all the people surrounded by him raises a multiple requests, it can consolidate, and later on it can treat as a single request, and it will be passed on to the rescue team. And this is just a portrait, as I said, this nature of incident and number of people surrounded by that person who is reporting, who need help, and the location, either he can directly send it, or he can take it through the current location and the contact numbers, and he or she has to submit the incident. This is the future scope of our project. um, if at all our project main motive is to, if at all it saves a single life, it's worth developing this project. And our future scope, we wanted this to be integrated with the SOS emergency service, there in case if at all there is any natural calamity, the signals might be down. So in this service, if at all we integrate with the SOS and emergency service, even if there are no signals, it can directly send out the information based on this SOS platform. So, and the references what we have used and what we have collected, all the information is through these websites. And we would like to take this platform as an opportunity to thank our Professor Srinivasan Raghunathan, who supported us throughout our project, and for his a very valuable and interactive lectures in our course. Thanks for listening to us.
Furthermore,